We do have an aftermarket XR8 bonnets, XR50 mirrors, and every single ute you'll see, you'll probably only notice that and you'll realize how chatted it is. But this XR8 bonnet is absolutely wild, and I don't know why the utes didn't come with this. It looks 100 times better. What do we think? What is going on, guys? Welcome back to yet another video on my new FG XR50 turbo ute build, and in this video we are going to be doing paint and panel. Crazy to think that I'm doing paint and panel before I do any other modification on the car, but as everyone knows, Ford paint is genuinely rubbish. So the bonnet's faded, the roof's faded, and there's a few other things that need some loving, but I'll get to that in a minute. If you guys want to see a full introduction video and a recap and all the ins and outs on this car, go on my previous video, my introduction video, check that out first, then come back here and I'll make a little bit more sense. But quick little recap for you guys that watched and may have forgotten. The front bar here is cracked, so that needs to be repaired, and the bottom grille needs to be repainted as it's kind of faded and it's got a few stone chips and everything. The headlights, they will be getting swapped out for my Mark II ones, which will be getting sanded down completely, re-cleared so it'll look brand new. The bonnet here, faded, guards, faded, roof completely faded, and the bottom of the side skirt on the other side, not this side here, but around there has a nice little scrape on it. But other than that, the paint on this is pretty well decent. Now we'll be getting a detail and a ceramic coat in a few weeks time once things are painted, but this is what we're dealing with and we're going to make it nice and clean. So a few things that are going on the car and are getting taken off the car is one being the bonnet. So in the back here we do have an aftermarket XR8 bonnet, so that'll be going on there. We've got to get the thing painted anyway, so why not just bloody put a better looking bonnet on it, look big, bulky and far better, as well as some XR50 mirrors, which are like the G6E mirror. They have the indicator there, and the XR50 sedans came with these from factory, but for some reason the ute didn't, and in here we've also got the wiring loom to make that work. But like I said, the utes for some reason didn't come with the indicators in the mirror and the 50th anniversary badge, but I do have those new old stock from Jefferson Ford. So they aren't here at the moment, but hopefully they come tomorrow and I'll drop it off to the boys. We'll put that all together when I go and see them on Saturday when the car's either together or it's about to get painted, one or the two. But that is going to look absolutely prime with those, the headlights as well, and the XR8 bulge. And for the roof, we are also going to be getting rid of this aerial antenna, so it's going to be a nice smooth flat roof. I'll just get the glass one when it comes to it, but I don't listen to the radio anyway, so no biggie for me. But in my eyes it just looks a little bit odd, and now that I've pointed it out, you'll probably notice how ugly they are, and every single ute you'll see, you'll probably only notice that and you'll realize how chatted it is. So we are going to be doing all of that and maybe even a little bit more. I don't even know at this point, but the boys said they're going to go over the car nice and proper when it's there, and whatever needs to be painted they're going to paint, because there's no point, you know, going crazy with the front end, having it all clean, and then from there back it doesn't look too good. But me looking at the car, looks pretty mint. Now could be doing the hard lid as well, not too sure. Again, in the previous video I said I'm not sure if I want to go a flat one and get rid of the sports bar, not sure. But anyways, I'm going to stop rambling, otherwise we're going to ramble all day. The boys are on their way now. They're going to pick the car up, they're going to get into it tomorrow afternoon. So Saturday afternoon, after I finish a few jobs that I have lined up, I might just go out there, drop off the guard badges anyway, but check the progress and see how they're going. So we'll either see the car just about to be together, or just about to be painted, or painted. So I'm going to stop yapping and we'll check back in. Alrighty guys, it is the next day. We are down here at the boys to the car because I'm dropping off my 50th anniversary badges, as well as wiring up some H7 connectors, because like I said, we're putting the Mark II headlights on the thing and they obviously won't plug in being a H4. So gonna do that, get me a new soldering iron and my new heat shrink, a good old test run, and do those and see where we're at with the car thus far. It hasn't been painted because they turn the electricity off during the day for a little bit of maintenance, so from what my understanding is, the aerial's been smoothed out, the front bar's been fixed, and I think it's in primer. So we'll go inside, check it out, do those things, and yeah, come back as well when it's all done. Well, you're painting something. Painting something, mate.
Yeah, paint the road.
Oh, yeah. Paint the road. Oh, yeah? Doing some painting, mate. Painting the road. Little suspect. Hey, little suspect. Alrighty guys, so as you would have seen there, I pulled up to the boy shop to solder in some H7 headlight plugs to get these Mark II puppies on, and it wasn't that simple. So when I looked at the box with the Mark II headlights I had in there, it had its own little loom. I was like, sweet, one plug it off the Mark I, plug it in the Mark II, happy days. But the Mark I doesn't actually have a plug, it's fixed into the body loom itself. The Mark II obviously has the plug. So that was the first problem there, and I thought, you know what, we'll just cut the connectors off, we'll put them in. But being a H4 and having 3 wires to the headlight and the H7 having 2, the problem was that 1 extra wire is what triggers the headlights to stay on when you activate the high beam. So looked into it, got an adapter loom, and I needed some headlight clips as well for the globes themselves because they were missing out of the Mark II ones. No idea how, but anyways, we ran into that problem. So we actually had to run the Mark I headlights after everything was painted, and you'll see in a future video that I end up getting the Mark IIs in, but they're in now. Looks absolutely great. So I'm going to show you the car all finished up, looking as mint as it can be. So here we have it guys, the XR50 Turbo Ute build is finally looking mint. Now it still doesn't need a detail, but we are letting the paint cure a little bit so it can obviously get all polished and coated as well, because this seems to attract every single bit of dust and dirt and grime on the road. Maybe it's a black car, we notice it more, but anyways, it's looking absolutely fat. So as talked about earlier in the video, front bumper here no longer has a crack, it's been painted, looks absolutely mint, with these Mark II headlights all sanded down and clear coated as well. I feel like the Mark II headlights on the Mark I just look absolutely wild. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a bonnet flexing, looking a little bit tougher as well. But this XR8 bonnet is absolutely wild, and the paint on it as well as the guards is looking sick with the XR50 sedan guard badges and mirrors. I don't know why the Utes didn't come with this. I'm sure you guys can agree, or if you disagree, let me know down in the comment section, that it looks 100 times better with these guard badges and the indicators there, as well as this painted roof without the bloody antenna. Looks 100 times better. Still haven't stuck the plastic roof rails in yet. I've got to double-sided tape those things on yet. But overall, the Ute is turning out absolutely fat, especially for a daily driver. Now the rear is really letting this car down with this mud flap. So we're going to get some lowering blocks for now, I think, and do it properly eventually with some lowering springs. But blocks just for now to get an idea of how low we want to go with it. Maybe some wheel spaces as well. I know they're not ideal and I don't really recommend them, but you know, it really needs it, because looking at the guards, they are extra hidden. You cannot even see them. So to get it somewhat matching with the front would be ideal, and it will look absolutely fat. Now the hard lid I was going to get painted, but nobody in the comment section on the reveal video really said anything about the bogan bar. So I don't know, now that the car's painted with the bonnet, do you guys think we leave it? Do you guys think we get rid of it? I don't know. I feel like it's looking pretty fat, and it's, you know, kind of tying in a little bit of chrome there, a little bit of chrome on the guards, chrome in the headlights, chrome on the fog lights. Sort of breaks it up a bit in my opinion, but I always want to hear your guys' thoughts and what you think on that. So man, let me know down in the comment section if you guys think I'm going the right way with this OEM Plus. In my opinion, it's looking absolutely fat, and now that it's painted, I love this car a whole lot more. Now we still have to do the headliner in it because it's still flapping around, hitting me in the face, but that will be in the next episode. as well as putting some LED lights in this bad boy, because the Mark II headlights are better, but these yellow lights really make the car look very old, and I feel like white lights in 6K will give this thing an update and a half. It'll look good, but we'll be able to see a whole lot more at night. So guys, what do we think? I'm super wrapped. I'm just can't stop looking at this thing. It looks top. So I had my missus drive it the other day, and I was driving in front of it, just staring at it in the mirror, and I was like, man, that's tough as. And then when I got behind it, yeah, those mud flaps and that ride height are just not it. So we're definitely going to sort that out. Definitely get it looking nice for a daily driver, but obviously not slamming it and making it look silly as for now. So it will turn into a proper car later down the track, but for now it's a daily driver. I don't want to go too crazy. We're going to be putting the exhaust, intake, front mount intercooler kit on it and getting it tuned. Maybe do a 3582 and a few other things, but let me know down in the comment section what you guys want to see. It's all going to be daily friendly and on 98 for now. Now what we will also be doing as well is getting rid of these ugly Queensland plates and putting some proper plates on it that are going to actually change this car. I feel like the plates kind of let it down too, with how big and bulky they are, but in the next few episodes I will have my new plates arrive, and I'm super keen for them because it is really going to make this car look a whole lot better. But it's something I've wanted for a very long time, but couldn't get, so now I can get, and you guys will see in a later video. So guys, let me know what you think of the car. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe. Put those post notifications on so you do not miss out on the next episode on this XR50 turbo build, and future episodes on this build and all the other builds we got here going on GAMBIN.BUILDS. So as always guys, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.